Marriage? I'd rather die than marry someone I've never even met. I hurled the limited edition bag to the floor. The feel of fine leather did nothing to cool my rage. Sterling Chase, well played. Using the dusty trick of a strategic alliance to yank my strings, do they really think Aurora is made of clay? Tomorrow is the wedding, the deadline pressing like a 911 call, yet I'm locked in this gilded cage where even breathing feels like a luxury. Love of my own choosing, my dream, has been ground to dust by family profit. I, Aurora, the eldest daughter of Sterling Chase, have always gotten whatever I wanted. When have I ever swallowed such insult? Fine, I'll marry. Do you really think I can't handle some wet behind the ears boy? At the estate garden pavilion, guests gather like clouds, the champagne tower sparkling obnoxiously, every cliché straight out of a trashy TV finale. When the man named Dylan leaned in with his harmless-looking face to kiss me, I lifted a hand without hesitation and blocked him. Don't assume marriage gives you the right to get close. The scene fell dead silent, the air itself seemed to freeze for 3 full seconds. I caught a flicker of surprise in his eyes, though the corner of his mouth edged upward. Huh, interesting. During the reception, the avalanche of flattery turns my stomach. I'm hunting for an escape when I spot a woman in soft pink silk sashaying toward Dylan. I know her, Brielle, famous green tea type, queen of playing fragile to milk sympathy. Dylan, you got married today, I'm heartbroken. Brielle's syrupy tone raises goosebumps across my arms. Dylan looks uncomfortable, opens his mouth, then closes it. I give a cold laugh, flirting with my husband at my own wedding? Does she think I'm dead? I stride over, grab Dylan's hand, and tell Brielle, Lang. It looks like you know a lot about your Dylan, you even know he likes the sugar-sweet act? My voice drips sarcasm, my gaze knifing toward her. Her face shifts, quickly she turns pitiful eyes on Dylan. Dylan, I didn't. Lang, this is Dylan's and my wedding day, kindly respect yourself. I cut her off, tightening my grip on Dylan's hand, claiming what's mine. Watching Brielle deflate feels better than chugging an ice-cold cola. Back in the bridal suite that night, Dylan and I sit on opposite edges of the bed. The awkwardness could carve out a 3-bedroom apartment. He tries to thaw the ice with polite platitudes like let's take care of each other from now on, but I answer in frosty monosyllables. Seeing his disappointment flicker, a strange pang darts through me, then I crush it. Humph, thinking a pup dog routine can melt my heart? Not a chance in hell. While I'm lost in those thoughts, someone knocks. I open the door. Brielle. Tears streak her face, she claims someone bullied her and begs Dylan to go with her and confront the person. I roll my eyes, such amateur drama. We're married now, he's not going anywhere with you. I slam the door shut. Brielle won't quit and starts another sentence. I cut her off, Lang, let this be the last time. Keep clinging and you'll see how unfriendly I can get. It's the first time I've defended this farce of a marriage so openly in front of Dylan, though I don't know why. After Brielle leaves, Dylan studies me. Why did you do that? I ignore the question and say coldly, starting tomorrow, we live separate lives. I walk into the bedroom, leaving him standing there. I hear his soft sigh behind me. Where this absurd marriage is headed, heaven only knows. Lights off, yet I can't fall asleep. Next morning, bleary-eyed, I pad to the kitchen to start my perfect solo breakfast ritual, black coffee and whole wheat toast. Someone's already there. Dylan, in my pink apron, yes, mine. Hums while frying something, the smell of grease plus mystery ingredients attacks my brain. My flawless breakfast plan is annihilated. Morning, wife. I made heart-shaped breakfast, come try. He beams as if he hasn't noticed my face is darker than the pan bottom. Wife. Who's your wife? I roll my eyes inside, but my tone stays flat. What is that? It smells like horror cuisine? A Western plate I invented just for you, sunny side up eggs, bacon, and oat milk oatmeal. He looks desperate for praise. I never eat greasy food, and I don't drink milk. I fight the urge to fling the blackened eggs out the window. But, milk builds bones, it's healthy. He mutters. I'm perfectly healthy, no calcium required. And stay out of my kitchen from now on. I bite back the fire and spin to leave. But I just wanted to be nice to you. His voice shrinks, he's basically a scolded puppy. Enough. I can't stand this corgi-level charm offensive. Just then the doorbell rings. Skylar. She steps in, clocks the war zone, and her jaw drops. Well, newlyweds throwing punches at sunrise? I shoot Dylan another glare. He's sabotaging my kitchen. Skylar eyes the heart-shaped breakfast, then Dylan's tragic expression, and bursts out laughing. Buddy, your road to forgiveness looks like the coastal cliff road, long and winding. Want me to line up some gentle, understanding girls? Dylan shakes his head, gaze locked on me. No need. I only want to build a life with Aurora. Skylar gives a hopeless case shrug, sits, bites a strip of bacon. Hey, not bad. Aurora, seriously, you're not even tasting? I'm about to snort a refusal when my phone buzzes, unknown number. I picked up the call, and a honey-sweet voice floated through. Aurora? I'm a reporter from XX magazine. May I ask you a few questions about married life with Dylan? My guard shot up, this was no polite inquiry. Before I could answer, she rushed on. It said you're extremely domineering at work, that you treat your subordinates harshly, some even call you the she-devil. I drew a slow breath, fighting to stay calm. Reporter, your sources seem unreliable. If you want an interview, contact my assistant through proper channels. I hung up at once, but unease crept in. Who was planting these rumors? That afternoon the whispers rippled through the office. I gave a cold laugh, called an all-hands meeting, slammed proof on the table that the stories were malicious slander, and publicly exposed Sienna's dirty tricks. Watching her slink out of the conference room filled me with private glee. Mess with me? Humph. Back home that evening I found a bouquet of my favorite white roses outside my bedroom door and a small card, hope you like them. Good night. No need to guess, Dylan again. My lips curved upward, but I quickly reset my Ice Queen mask. Think you can win me over with little gestures? Not a chance. The next night we attended a gala at the yacht club. Green Tea Sienna showed up too, pretending to trip in front of Dylan so he'd catch her. I was faster, I yanked her upright and said coolly, Sienna, watch your step next time. Don't play kindergarten games in front of my husband. Dylan looked at me, eyes sparkling. Aurora, thank you. I kept my tone indifferent. I just don't want us to be anyone's joke. When the party ended, Dylan caught my hand. Aurora, I want to know you better. My heart lurched, I started to refuse, then my phone buzzed. A message flashed, Aurora, you think you've won? The real show is just beginning. I stared at the words, a chill sliding down my spine. Won? What exactly had I won? And who was rattling this saber? Before I could puzzle it out, a plain craft envelope on my desk caught my eye. I opened it, and my blood froze. A stack of photos, Dylan and me in fake intimate photos, photoshopped so realistically strangers would swear they were real. I inhaled slowly, forcing myself steady. This was a deliberate setup. In the office I felt cameras hidden in every corner, eyes tracking me like some spy thriller. Exciting, yes, but when would the bomb drop and who held the detonator? Across town, in a dimly lit cafe, 3 women huddled over lattes. Brielle, Sienna, Jade, the green tea trio. Aurora actually thinks marrying Dylan means happily ever after? Brielle began, jealousy dripping. Right? Flaunting her pedigree, looking down on everyone, disgusting, Sienna chimed in. This time we hit her where it hurts, Jade hissed, eyes flashing. target her proudest asset. Next day Jade engineered a chance encounter with Dylan at Eastbrook. She faked being clobbered by a falling book, cradling her arm and tearing up. "Dylan, my arm hurts so much," she whimpered. He hurried over, but the injury showed not even a red mark. His brows drew together. "Jade, she wailed louder. "Aurora, I know you hate me, but you didn't have to do this." "I only wanted to borrow a book from Dylan." Dylan's gaze chilled. "Jade," he said, voice eerily calm, "what game are you playing?" "Watching the drama queen," I sneered inwardly. "Amateur hour. Trying to smear me? Child's play." I marched into the library, aura on full blast. "Well, if it isn't little Jade. Great performance, Oscar owes you a statuette." I folded my arms, half smiling. Jade turned green, stammering, Aurora, let me explain." "Explain what?" "That your unbruised arm warrants floods of tears? Or that you accidentally glued my head onto those fake intimate photos with Dylan?" I flicked my phone. On the screen glowed the ridiculous pictures plus a tech memo proving forgery. "What photos?" I don't know anything," she blustered. I shoved the phone under her nose. "Open your eyes. And did you think I wouldn't trace this to you, Brielle, and your plastic sidekick Sienna?" At their names Brielle and Sienna slunk from the crowd, faces twisted like they'd swallowed flies. I chuckled. "Here for a group stunt? Should I call an ambulance?" Spectators whispered and pointed, the trio fled, cheeks flaming. That evening Dylan cooked an entire dinner himself and presented me with a Tiffany necklace. I muttered, "Not bad, I guess," but inside I was glowing. Crisis handled, goodwill gained, nice bonus. Just as I floated on that sweet aftertaste, Brielle resurfaced, pretending it was coincidence, tugging Dylan aside for something important. I arched a brow and waited. Dylan shut her down flat, he only wanted to be with me. Brielle nearly melted through the floor in mortification. Still, victory felt too easy, something darker lurked beneath. These green tea girls will never give up without a fight. I stared out the window, a sudden wave of unease washing over me. "Dylan, tomorrow let's," I didn't finish. A violent squeal of brakes slashed through my sentence. We'd been on our way to spend the day on the coastal cliff road when, out of nowhere, a swarm of black-clad men straight out of a blockbuster materialized, boxing our car in so tightly I couldn't see daylight. What on earth? Live-action cosplay? My brain fired off frantic memes while the air congealed around us. I darted a look at Dylan, his face had gone grave. Usually the human embodiment of a golden retriever pup, he now wore the focused stillness of a coiled trap, caution glittering in his eyes. Honestly, I worried the scene might overwhelm him, those guys radiated danger. The wall of black parted and a suit stepped forward. "Victor." My pulse lurched, why wouldn't this man stay gone? I was still furious over the partnership pitch he'd ruined last month. "Dylan, long time no see," Victor drawled, smile thin as a scalpel and twice as cold. "What do you want?" I cut in, planting myself between them. I knew Dylan's family moved with bodyguards shadowing us somewhere, but optics matter, I wasn't about to cede the high ground. Victor's chuckle scraped like gravel. "Aurora, stay out unless you want to get hurt. This is between the sterling heir and me." His stare bored into Dylan. "Your family buried mine, today you pay the bill." My stomach dropped. Blood feud territory, just fantastic. Dylan tugged me behind him, voice rock steady. "Victor, aim at me. Leave her alone." I blinked, stunned. I'd filed him under adorable, needs protection, yet here he was, shield in human form. Victor's grin twisted savage. "Courage, how quaint. Let's test it." He flicked his fingers, the circle of thugs tightened, tension humming like a live wire. "Freeze!" A voice I knew cracked across the asphalt. Derek, my brother, rode to the rescue, a phalanx of disciplined muscle spilling from black SUVs behind him. Cue imaginary theme music, the man exuded main character energy. Stand down, Derek commanded. His team flowed forward, crisp and clinical, cuffing and corralling until Victor's wolves looked like terrified chicks. Victor tried to rabbit. Derek closed the distance in one stride and buried a fist in his gut, dropping him like yesterday's trash. I applauded in my head, hard. Dylan exhaled, eyes finding mine, relief flickering raw. Back home he folded me into a hug that trembled against my ribs. I stroked his back the way you calm a colt. It's over, I whispered, basking in borrowed bravery. Night brought nightmares, Dylan bleeding beneath Victor's blade. I jolted awake, gulping air, fingers brushing the warm skin of the man beside me. Satisfied he breathed, I kissed his forehead on impulse. His lashes fluttered. Aurora. I flipped away, mortified. What did I just do? Yet the truth hammered, I might already be in too deep to surface without him. Morning. Inbox ping, a new message labeled partnership. Unfamiliar sender, but the proposal looked tailor-cut for Sterling Chase. Big, juicy, irresistible. And suspicious. Victor's shadow still stained the edges of my thoughts, traps were silk linings. I groaned. This felt like binge-watching a hit series only for the stream to buffer at the cliffhanger. What's glued to your screen? Dylan asked, drifting in with aromatic black coffee. I pointed. Sounds perfect, but off. Trap, he diagnosed, setting the mug down. He scanned the corporate name and frowned. Never heard of them. Appeared overnight. Exactly. Still, dropping it feels stupid, look at those margins. I raked a hand through my hair. I'm not a kid who needs constant bubble wrap. I'm not bubble wrap, he answered softly. Think of me as the second opinion you keep on retainer. His exasperated sigh feathered across the room. Fine, be stubborn, just take a parachute. I'll take the whole plane, I shot back, grabbing my blazer. And if it crashes, I'll read the black box. The meeting room sat inside a luxury hotel overlooking the harbor. I stepped in, and nearly laughed. Brielle lounged at the conference table, every hair strategically disheveled. President Sterling, Dylan, what a coincidence, she chirped, fake surprise lacquered on thick. Lang, the universe must adore us, I replied, sugar dripping acid. From there forward I dictated cadence, tone, and outcome, nobody manipulates the narrative on my watch. On the surface, I acted fascinated by the project, behind the scenes, I watched every move, hunting for the flaw. Brielle kept up her helpless little daisy act the whole time, tossing in comments to nudge my thinking. When the meeting ended, the partners rep warmly invited us to dinner. Pass. I declined coolly. I've got things to do. I'm out. The moment I stepped outside the hotel I speed-dialed Skylar. Dig up everything on this company and the so-called mystery investor, fast. Just then Dylan walked over. Something feels off. I gave a thin laugh. Tell me about it, then I glanced back at the entrance, a familiar silhouette flicked past. Victor? I whipped out my phone and snapped him walking away. Well, the gang's all here. For the next few days I investigated the mystery investor on the quiet. Skylar pinged me, the outfit was a shell company incorporated weeks ago with zero real business, and the mystery investor didn't exist. My gut screamed elaborate trap. I cranked my fake enthusiasm up another notch and even offered to boost our stake. Brielle bit, smug victory practically dripped from her lashes. Honey, the curtain hasn't even gone up. On signing day I exposed the whole scam in front of everyone. I laid out the proof, shell company filings, the phantom identity, chat logs tying Brielle to them. The conference room detonated. The mystery investor tried to bolt, security I'd planted at the doors collared him. Brielle's face cycled through every shade on a color wheel. I stepped up, looking down at her. Lang, your performance was Oscar-worthy. She bit her lip, speechless, and slunk away. In the car home, Dylan kept my hand clamped in his. I felt the heat of his palm, and something shining in his eyes. Admiration? Aurora, you were incredible, he said, awed. I lifted my chin. Obviously. Know who you're married to? That night Dylan sprang a surprise on me. The yard blazed with fairy lights and blooms. On the table, a candlelit dinner he'd cooked himself. This is straight out of a rom-com. Flames danced in the glasses as Dylan gazed at me, and my heart sprinted. He leaned in, brushing my lips with a soft, lingering kiss. My phone pinged in the middle of our bubble. I peeked, anonymous text, thought it was over? Intermission just ended. My hand shook. Dylan noticed. What's wrong? He reached for the phone, I jerked it behind my back. I nearly flung the thing across the patio. Who ruins a moment like this? Just spam, I lied, sliding it into my pocket. For days afterward I felt strung tight, that line echoing in my skull. Intermission just ended. What act 2? I paced the bedroom until the walls closed in. Chill, Sterling. Bring it on. Meanwhile, in a dim lounge, allies huddled, air thick with grudges. So Dylan's going to proclaim his love in public? Brielle hissed. Not if we hijack the spotlight, Sienna snarled, slapping the table. Jade's eyes narrowed. This time we obliterate them. Victor sat silent, hate sharp as a blade. D-Day looked like a sold-out concert. Dylan, ivory suit spotlit, stood on stage like a storybook prince. I clutched my hands, pulse racing, as he began, not with a declaration but with our story, every messy, tender page. Tears stung my eyes, the man can filibuster hearts. Then a ripple tore through the crowd. Aurora, explain this, someone shouted. A poster-sized print shot up, me wrapped around a stranger in flagranti. My blood drained. Photoshop. I screamed, but the roar swallowed me. Dylan's face hardened, shock and hurt flashing across it. Skylar buelled through with security, grabbing the agitators. Got the culprit, she murmured. Who? I begged. Skylar leaned in and whispered a few names. I froze. They were actually them. Brielle, Sienna, Jade, and Victor. They'd actually teamed up. I drew a slow breath, forcing myself to stay calm. Skylar, thank you. She patted my shoulder. Between sisters, thanks is pointless. I'm not letting a single one of them off the hook. She turned to Dylan, eyes steely. Dylan, don't let these cheap tricks wreck what you two have. A flicker of clarity finally returned to Dylan's gaze. He stepped up, closing his fingers tight around mine. Aurora. I looked at him, tears stinging, almost spilling. Thank goodness, Skylar signaled security, and the troublemakers were escorted out. Calm gradually settled over the pavilion. Dylan lifted the mic again, inhaled, and spoke with gentle resolve. Aurora, I love you. From the first moment I saw you, I was drawn to you. I know I may not be the flawless partner you pictured, but I'm willing to spend my life loving you, protecting you. Will you marry me? His voice, soft yet unwavering, seemed to reach straight into my soul. My tears broke free, I couldn't hold them back. I walked to him, extended my hand, and managed through the sob, I will. Dylan pulled me into a fierce embrace, applause and cheers exploded around us. Resting against his chest, listening to his steady heartbeat, I'd never felt safer or happier. Aurora, he whispered against my ear, I want to spend my life guarding you like this. I lifted my head, met his devoted eyes, and nodded softly. We'll face everything together. But happiness never lasts long. A call shattered the moment. Sterling, regarding the venue, decor, guest list. A mountain of tasks crashed down on me at once, and even an heiress like me felt the dread of seeing 999 plus notifications. Worse, the rumors those drama queens, yes, Brielle, Sienna, and Jade, had started still lingered like a few stubborn storm clouds, threatening our perfect wedding KPI. I scrolled gossip forums on my phone and vented to Dylan. Don't these people have anything better to do than stalk my love life? Unfazed, he plucked the phone from my hand. Sweetheart, rumors die with the wise, and with us. Then this rumored gentle scholar flashed frightening social skills. He dragged me to every dinner and gala, wearing a "my wife is the best" grin that declared itself to the world. The whisperers took one look at our united front and shut their mouths. Public displays of affection really are the ultimate slapback. With the big day closing in, the clowns finally lost their cool. The night before the ceremony, an anonymous call slipped through. Aurora, think you've won? Just wait. I scoffed, grade school scare tactics. Just as I was about to hang up, a clatter came through, breaking glass? My stomach dropped. Dylan. I grabbed my coat. Something's wrong at the garden pavilion. We tore over at top speed. The instant we stepped inside, total devastation. Arches toppled, champagne towers shattered, cake smeared across the marble. Brielle, Sienna, and Jade huddled together, trembling, clutching, paint cans? I blinked. What is this? Dylan stepped forward, voice low. Explain. Brielle sniffled. We only wanted to surprise you, Sienna nodded. Yeah. Redecorating so it'd look prettier, Jade added weakly, but we kinda messed up. My mental subtitle, you call this a surprise? Try a panic attack. Thank heavens we'd come a day early. Discovering this tomorrow morning would have killed me. Before Dylan could press further, Skylar and Derek pushed through the crowd. Skylar held her phone high. Security footage showed the three drama queens sneaking in at midnight and redecorating the romantic pavilion into a disaster zone. I stared, half furious, half amused. Are you three doing stand-up? Case closed, the villains were dumbstruck. Apparently they thought surveillance only existed in spy flicks, so young, so naive. Skylar and Derek had foreseen the ticking bombs and staged early countermeasures, extra guards and 24-hour cameras. Caught red-handed, there was zero room for denial. Once the mess was cleared, we restaged the pavilion overnight. Next morning, wearing my dream wedding gown, I walked toward Dylan beneath a storm of blessings. He knelt, eyes shining, slipped the wedding band onto my finger, and brushed a kiss across it. In that heartbeat, I was sure I was the happiest woman alive. After the reception, we dove into sweet newlywed life. As for the trio, word is they were prosecuted for malicious property damage and vanished from the social circuit. The world is peaceful again, and Dylan's and my love story has only just begun. Thanks for listening. Rate today's tale 1 to 10. If you liked it, hit like and share with friends. We can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more amazing stories and see you next episode. Goodbye.